think quantum computing is gonna be dangerous for Bitcoin and crypto space?
So DAOs can actually disrupt the whole thing, the hierarchy system, and it can bring, give power back to the people. So
a lot of people will be mad.
We entered an era where the Web3 ecosystem are welcoming the institutions.
If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self entering in crypto, what would it be? Okay, we're here with Yanut, a great friend of mine and also a great figure in the crypto space. We're gonna ask you what you do in the crypto space, how you finding the fair. Just introduce a bit of everything. Yeah.
Okay. Hi Irene, thanks for having me. I'm Yanut, called Gaudenzio. I work for NapulETH. I'm the co-founder of NapulETH. It's a big Ethereum community in Italy. And I also work for Nevo Local, a crypto quantum company that does complex formulas for the post-quantum cryptography for the future.
Jesus, okay. Then I'm gonna ask you the famous question.
Okay.
Do you think quantum computing is gonna be like dangerous for Bitcoin and crypto space?
So yes, there are going to be a lot of wallets. The first wallets created by Satoshi in the first years, but not only Satoshi, all the wallets created in the first 1 and 2 years of the ledger of the Bitcoin, they are potentially vulnerable for being break.
Really?
So it's possible that quantum computer will be able to break those ones. The important thing is that if you have that wallet, you will be able to implement a procedure that will make sure that that's not going to be...
Will prevent that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you don't do nothing, and if you don't upgrade the wallet, then the risk it's high. Consider the risk is going to be those wallets that are dormant, that are still since years, and maybe they are lost. They can be broke.
Okay. Hi Z.
hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alive.
Fair enough. Can you tell me a little bit who you are, what you do, and also how you're finding our MetaEarth event?
I'm actually a doer, a dreamer. I'm a creator myself.
Nice.
I talk about Web3, crypto, blockchain, and whatnot. And I'm building India's first Web3 school.
I like that.
What was it?
What do you think about MetaEarth event?
It's lovely. Your energy and this guy is working so hard. The people, the event, everything is so good.
What do you think about like MetaEarth vision? Like, do you think, it's a project that is different from what you see out there?
It's a cool idea, by the way. I'm not a techie guy, but I think this is kind of revolutionizing the entire identity crisis that every people have. So it's kind of bringing all the traditional KYC stuff onto the blockchain, which is pretty cool, I would say.
Yeah. Do you know what is regenerative finance, also known as ReFi?
Yeah.
So basically, like, it uses blockchain to improve the sustainability of the planet. Yeah, like MetaEarth. Basically, we are empowering coders to build a roll-up that can prove carbon footprint for institution, for business. So we basically want people to be more sustainable because everything is going to be on chain. And eventually you can also trade carbon footprint credit as well, Do you see this coming as a trend, or like, do you think it's just a trend now, or do you see this in the future as an actual thing happening?
Yeah, it's definitely here. It's around, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years that this topic is in discussion in the Web3. Will be very adopted because we entered an era where the Web3 ecosystem are welcoming the institutions for the first time. So the next cycle will not be more about retails, but will be more about institutions.
Yes.
Institutions, big companies, big corporations, and blockchain, it's an amazing tool. So you can take the carbon credits and put it on the blockchain. It's inequitable.
Yeah.
Something very, very important.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely. It will just take some time, but eventually we will be here because institutions are here, and institutions, they want this. And carbon credit is a market with I don't know how many billions, maybe trillions worldwide. Trillions.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's a massive market. It's an emerging market of the Web3 entering, because we are entering their market with providing with blockchain solutions like MetaEarth.
What is your vision on DAO? You know, because through MetaEarth, like, as they were explaining before, we're aiming to become like a DAO where people can do real governance on things happening in the real world, you know? What's your take on DAO? Do you think that is going to happen? Do you think it's just an utopia? What's your take?
Well, I think there are a lot of jargons in the Web3 space these days, and DAO is one of them. People don't understand what DAO stands for, and I think what we see in the world, the democracy that's kind of taking over countries and everything, it's happening because of one guy holding the power on top of everything, right?
Yeah.
So DAOs can actually disrupt the whole thing, the hierarchy system, and it can bring in it can bring or give power back to the people. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
So I think DAO, the whole idea of MetaEarth giving one token to each and every individual, which means that equally distributing the power to everyone, which is gonna be a really cool thing, I would say.
That's powerful because like many projects, they are down now. It's about like how many token you have.
Correct.
That's how much your vote counts.
Correct.
So I do believe that one token, one vote is a powerful thing. Can you please introduce yourself? Tell us how you got into the crypto game, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Sure. Sjuul, better known as AltCryptoGems. Been in crypto since 2017, but started to go full-time 2021. Started on a Twitter page, and pretty much everything I did in crypto, I was posting about it. People started to enjoy it, and then we gained some followers. Recently created a podcast as well called the AltCryptoCast.
Nice.
And we create a lot of content.
Yeah, we need that. We need more education. So the more you do, the better it is.
Exactly.
Like, what's your take about the project? Do you think like this project is actually different from the other? Is actually making some difference out there?
I mean, first of all, I like the way they do it, the presentation here. That's already a big difference to other projects, because let's be honest, there's so many projects in crypto and they say, you know what, we're going to launch something, they post a tweet and that's it. And the fact that they are trying to sort of get a basic income for everyone, so to speak, I think is a very good initiative and a noble one. Obviously, we can never tell and say how things are going, so we're going to see over the coming months, years. But I'm excited, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
I mean, I guess there's lots of money and speculation in crypto, so if we use some of them to make the difference, you know, and actually create some like balance in the wealth, yeah, it's a great thing. What are your thoughts on decentralized KYC?
I think they should have. I think we would need it in order to go to the next step, to have pretty much the global adoption. I think it's important. It's going against crypto, some say, because you know we got a decentralized ecosystem, and then if you KYC, it's not really decentralized anymore. So it's a bit of a, you know, like a balance between two things.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a decentralized KYC, but I see your point of view definitely.
Exactly.
Like especially for like Bitcoin maximalists or like Degen. But from a side, you know, if we want institution to embrace Web3, we do need something like this.
Exactly, we need it. So. Yeah, I'm sort of in between. I like it, but I also don't like it.
Yeah. The future of personal data should be
hidden. Yeah. I mean, the whole idea of decentralization is bringing back the ethos of the first generation of internet, right?
Yeah.
Where every identity had power over their identity, or every individual had power over their identity. And then in Web 2, what happened? They were able to give free services, so-called offers and stuff like that, in exchange of the email and mobile numbers and names and datas and whatnot. We were actually feeding the algorithm. We were just giving ourselves to the data or the machine, I would say. And then what Web3 is trying to do is bring back that ethos. So what I think that every individual can hide their own identity, but at the same time interact more faster and better way with evolving technology.
Yes. Definitely. What do you think is missing in Web3 to get toward the mass adoption, or what can Web3 improve to get toward mass adoption?
The narrative, the topic that will bring to another step the mass adoption will be AI.
Okay.
Because AI it's gonna make everything very simple. So all those complex tools and procedures, like a swap, like a bridge, all those mechanics that you usually do in the DeFi will be made very easily with AI, because you just need a normal language to ask to do the stuff for you. So AI for sure will help to grow the mass adoption in the web.
Makes sense. It's actually a very smart answer. Like, I've been asking this around, but you're the first person mentioning AI as a tool of growth. What are those Web2 habits that you think Web3 will replace?
So we talked about this last night, and I think I'm not saying that this is going to be there in a couple of months, but an idea that we had is, companies, they have their files. We know sort of how much companies are making, where the money is going. Whereas if you go to centralized exchanges right now, we barely know anything. So we see, for example, proof of reserves coming up. Well, we don't really know where the money is going. And I think that's the thing that we're going to see, where we're going to replace the sort of information that we have in Web2. And with blockchain technology, we're going to see where's all the money going, and not just an exchange, but also companies, banks, etc.
Yeah.
So you know where the money's going, what they're doing with money. I think things like that are we're going to see more and more in the coming years. And then on a broader scale.
If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self entering in crypto, what would it be?
Stay foolish. I would say the same thing, because I've made millions of mistakes and I've lost a lot of millions and I've made millions, and it's a good game for me from the beginning. If I didn't do the mistakes, I would never be here standing with you, talking to you.
Fair enough.
I think I would tell the younger self that stay foolish and do all the mistakes that I've done.
We're gonna finish the sentence.
Okay.
One thing blockchain could help fix in the real world is
With ME, inequality.
inequality.
Yeah, with ME.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good answer. 2024 for crypto will be the year of
Growth.
growth.
Yeah.
Especially because we see institution.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say that. Price went up, so that's why I say growth, because we see a lot of new sort of liquidity and institutions, projects coming in. So I'd say growth.
Web3 isn't just about speculation. It's about
Building something new.
if we could track carbon emission transparently, then
A lot of people will be mad, but also a lot of people will be happy.
yes, definitely. If crypto wants to change the world, it needs to start by
Having a better tokenization, I would say.
okay.
Because these days I see, I want to explain, I've seen projects coming up just for the sake of making money, and
Yeah.
there are a lot of rug pulls and stuff happening, which is actually disrupting the technology, or people like us who are educating in the domain kind of afraid to go and show a face because they call it a scam market.
Yeah.
Because the tokenization is not strong enough. So I would say better tokenization would bring more people,
Yeah.
more regulations.
Yes, definitely. We need more. We need to get regulated in order to be embraced from institutions.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.